All right, welcome back to another video. Jack McCall here. In today's video, we are going to talk about relationships with banks. If you are someone that is trying to build strong credit, much more than just a score, to build resilient credit, a credit profile that is attractive to lenders, whether it be trying to get approved for a mortgage, a good interest rate on an auto loan, or to get approved for 0% interest business funding, or even some of the top personal credit cards, relationships with banks is absolutely crucial to understand. The first question to ask is, what type of credit products do I want to be approved for? A lot of people that I work with specifically want to get approved for max funding on 0% interest business credit cards. The underwriters who look at that credit are looking for very specific things. So we want to ask ourselves, what type of credit products do we want to get approved for? Is it 0% cards? If it is, then we want to make sure we're building a relationship with the banks who have the credit products that we want to get approved for. There are many different ways to build a strong relationship with these banks. In this video, we're going to talk about the most effective, the most fast way to build strong trust with the right banks. And yes, there are the wrong banks and there are the right banks. So let's jump right in. There are two main ways to build a relationship with a bank. You can either build a banking relationship, or on the next slide, we'll talk about the second way to build a relationship with a bank. In terms of banking relationships, this is the order that I would rank in terms of the most important banks to build a banking relationship with, okay? At the top of the list, that is going to be Bank of America. Bank of America is a great national bank, and specifically, they're one of the few banks that need to see business revenue in a business checking account before getting approved for one of their business 0% interest cards. So if you have a business with revenue, it is going to be the most important by far to show Bank of America that revenue in the business checking account. A couple of the banks that I would for sure avoid building a bank relationship at is going to be Citibank, Capital One, and Discover Bank. The reason I don't think it's beneficial to build a banking relationship with those banks is because Citi does not have any 0% interest business credit cards. And again, if we're trying to get approved for business credit cards at 0%, this is not a bank that has that credit product. So in my opinion, it doesn't make sense to build a relationship with that bank. Capital One and Discover, they do have 0% business credit cards, but their business credit cards report to the personal credit profile, which defeats the purpose of a 0% business credit card because the most of them don't report to your personal credit profile. So those are three banks that I would avoid building a bank relationship with. If we go back to the list of banks to build a banking relationship with, at number 2, I would put JP Morgan Chase Bank. This is a very, very good bank. Their online portal's amazing. They have good credit cards, both on the personal side and big limits on the 0% interest business credit cards. So in terms of a banking relationship, I'm talking about opening up a business checking account at that bank. The longer this account can be open, the more deposits that come in, the more activity shown in the account, and the higher the balance is on a monthly basis, really a daily basis, the better. You don't have to put $50,000 in the account. If you can just open up a Chase business checking account, put at least $5,000 in the account, and have some sort of activity going in and out over maybe a 3-month period, that is going to start to build a much stronger banking relationship than if you didn't have a bank account in the first place. The next bank that I would prioritize building a banking relationship at is going to be Wells Fargo. Okay, Wells Fargo has one 0% interest business credit card, and this is actually a business credit card you can get approved for multiple cards if you have multiple businesses. Wells Fargo is also a bank that has a really good business line of credit. Okay, so the banks that I have here on this screen are banks that have good credit products, and it is required to have a banking relationship in order to get max funding on their business credit cards, okay? At number 4, I'm gonna put 2 different banks. US Bank is a great bank to build a relationship with because the people that I see apply for their business credit cards, if they have a business checking account and it's been operating in for several months with some money in it, they're the ones that are getting approved for much higher limits on the business credit cards, okay? PNC is a local, it's a regional bank in some states across the country. In general, I'm not a big fan of PNC. It's really hard to get approved for good limits on their cards. But again, the only time I see good limits are the people that have a good banking relationship at PNC. So you might be thinking, well, this is a lot of banks to build a banking relationship at. You don't have to build a relationship with all of these banks. This is just how I would prioritize it. Really, the top three: Bank of America, Chase, and Wells Fargo. If your business has revenue, again, you want to show Bank of America that revenue. Super beneficial to do that. If your business doesn't have any revenue yet, then I would just move to number 2, being Chase Bank. Go open up a business checking account. You can schedule an appointment online to make an account. You go in there, they're gonna ask what your business does. Try to tailor your answer to a lower risk answer, okay? It's best if you do that when you open the account. Put some money in the account. If you can season $5,000 in it for 3 months, maybe just 1 or 2 months leading up to the application, 3 months to be best, that is gonna be very beneficial. Same with Wells Fargo. So that is the order I would recommend to focus your effort on building a bank relationship. The second way to build a relationship with a lender, okay? It is gonna be through a credit relationship. So this is the order I would think about how to build a credit relationship with the bank. So American Express is a bank that has business checking accounts, but I have found a much easier and more effective way to build a relationship with American Express, and you can do that with what I call a credit relationship. So you get some of their credit cards to build a relationship rather than the bank account, okay? So American Express, the 2 best cards to get approved for at American Express, and you don't have to get both of them, but the personal American Express Delta Gold is a good card that I see they give a good limit on that card, and it's a low annual fee. I think it's $150 a year for this card, and you get a sign-up bonus with the card, okay? That is one way to build a credit relationship with American Express. Quick side note, American Express is the only bank that I have seen that allows you to move personal credit limits to business credit cards. So if you get a $20,000 limit on the American Express Personal Gold, in the future, there is an ability to transfer that credit limit to a 0% business card at American Express, okay? The second card that I recommend at American Express is going to be the Amex Business Gold Card. So this card is a business card, but because it's a charge card, there's no preset limit. So because of that, it becomes very easy to get approved for this card, okay? So the people who have a credit relationship with American Express, by the time they apply for the American Express Business Blue Cash or the Business Blue Plus, they get a much higher limit on this 0% card at American Express if they have that credit relationship built before. So best case scenario, you get one of these Amex cards, the gold, the business gold, or the Amex Delta Gold. You have it for at least 3 months and you're using the card. Do that for 3 months and then apply for the American Express, one of the 2 blue cards. Actually, applying for both of them is part of my max funding strategy. So that's how you build a credit relationship at American Express. Moving down to Chase. The way that I would build a credit relationship with Chase is to get some of their personal cards first. It could be just 1 card, or it can be 2 of their personal cards spread over a 3-month period. In general, I just recommend 1 Chase card to start. If your credit profile is rather thin, maybe your score isn't above 750, maybe if your highest limit is under 5,000, then the number 1 card I'd recommend is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Okay, this is a card that's easier to get approved for. It is very good on rewards, and it's a very good way to build that credit relationship with Chase. If your credit profile is a little bit more advanced, maybe you already have a $5,000 limit, your average age is over 2 years, then maybe go for one of the Sapphire cards. This could be the Sapphire Preferred or the Sapphire Reserve, like I have on the screen right here. Getting one of those 3 cards at Chase is going to help build a credit relationship. So when you apply for their 0% cards, which Chase has 2 business 0% cards, they are going to give you a much higher limit. If we move down to Bank of America, the similar tactics will apply. Applying for one of their personal credit cards and having that credit card at Bank of America for several months is going to help you get a higher limit in the future on one of Bank of America's 0% cards. They have 3 0% cards at 9 months 0% and 1 0% card at 7 months of 0%. If we move down to the fourth bank that I would focus on in terms of the credit relationship, this is going to be Wells Fargo, okay? Wells Fargo is one of those banks. We also want to build the banking relationship, but if we pair the banking relationship with the credit relationship, they're going to start to trust you a lot more, making it way easier to get approved for their 0% business credit cards, as well as the business lines of credit, if that's something you're interested in. So the two cards that I would recommend at Wells Fargo to build their credit relationship is going to be the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey. Okay, this is a really good travel card. It gives a ton of rewards on travel transactions, and it has a very low annual fee of just $100. The second card I would recommend is going to be the Built card. The Built card issued by Wells Fargo is another great card. You can actually pay your rent on the Built card without getting charged a credit card processing fee. So get one of these cards and then use it for the next 3 months. And because you're doing that, they're going to trust you a lot more. So therefore, you're going to get a higher limit on the business credit card. One caveat I will say is I've talked about a lot of personal credit cards on this screen. So one thing to be very careful of is not applying for too many personal credit cards in a short period of time. I would never apply for more than 2 personal credit cards in a 6-month window. So if you're looking at this and you're thinking, well, Jack, I have 0 credit relationships with any of these banks. So then I would just focus on the first 2. Maybe you get one of the 2 American Express cards, and then maybe you get one of the 3 Chase cards. Use those cards for the next 3 to 6 months. And then after that, maybe focus on a credit relationship at the next 2, which will be Bank of America and Wells Fargo, okay? Again, don't apply for more than 2 personal credit cards in a 6-month period. But you can do the credit relationship building at all 4 of these banks if you look at a 12-month time frame. But again, this is how I'd prioritize. American Express number 1, Chase at number 2, Bank of America number 3, and Wells Fargo number 4. Again, the people who build the banking relationship in addition to the credit relationship at these top banks, they're the ones that are getting approved for the much higher limits on the business credit cards. I'm talking about $50,000 limits, $75,000 limits, $25,000 limits. If you don't build the relationship, you're only going to get approved, if you get approved, for $5,000, $10,000. That's not what we're looking to do here. I assume you are trying to get access to business credit, maybe $100,000. If you want to do that, it's very important to take the credit relationship and the banking relationship serious so they trust you more, so you maximize your efforts on the 0% cards. If you are trying to learn even more about credit, make sure to subscribe to my channel right here, and to the right, you'll see a bunch of other videos on credit. Go to my channel. We have dozens and dozens of videos on credit. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.